Hello, my name is Gangesh Shukla. I'm a second year medical student. Can I know your name and age, please?
My name is Shivam Tripathi and my age is 22.
Okay, today I'll be performing the musculoskeletal examination. So, for that, you have to remove your shirt. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay, and in between the procedure, if you feel any difficulty, just let me know, okay?
With a good hand hygiene, inspect the shoulder and shoulder girdle anteriorly, then the scapulae and related muscles posteriorly. Note any swelling, deformity, muscle atrophy or fasciculations or abnormal positioning. Now palpation, beginning medially at the sternoclavicular joint, trace the clavicle laterally with your fingers. From behind, follow the bony spine of the scapula laterally and upward until it becomes the acromion, the summit of the shoulder. Move your thumb medially and down a short step to the next bony prominence, the coracoid process of the scapula. With your thumb on the coracoid process, allow your finger to fall on grabs and lateral aspect of the humerus to palpate the greater tubercle where the sits muscle insert. Now the shoulder girdle range of motion. In flexion, you raise your arms in front of you and over the head. Next is extension, raise your arms behind you. Next is abduction, raise your arms out to the side and over the head. Then adduction, cross your arm in front of your body. For internal rotation, place one hand behind your back and touch your shoulder blade. Identify the highest midline spinous process. For external rotation, raise your arm to shoulder level, bend your elbow and rotate your forearm toward the ceiling. Maneuvers for examining the shoulder. First is crossover or cross body adduction test. Adduct the patient arm across the chest. Next is apply scratch test. Ask the patient to touch the opposite scapula using the two motions. Near impingmentation sign, press on the scapula to prevent scapular motion with one hand and raise the patient arm with the other. This compresses the greater tuberosity of the humerus against the acromion. Next is wrist examination. We will begin by inspection of the wrist. Inspect the position of the hands in motion for smooth natural movement. Inspect the palmar and dorsal surfaces of the wrist and hand carefully for swelling over the joints or signs of trauma. Then we begin with the palpation. Palpate the distal radius and ulna on the lateral and medial surfaces. Palpate the radial styloid bone and anatomic snub box, a hollow depression just distal to the radial styloid process formed by the abductor and external muscles of the thumb. The snub box is more visible with lateral extension of the thumb away from the hand, abduction. Palpate the 8th carpal bone lying distal to the wrist joint and then each of the 5 metacarpals and the proximal, medial and distal phalanges. Compress the metacarpal phalangeal joints by squeezing the hand from each side between the thumb and fingers. Now we examine the fingers and thumb. Palpate the medial and lateral aspect of each posterior interphalangeal joint between your thumb and index finger, again checking for swelling, bogginess, bony enlargement or tenderness. Use the same technique examining the distal interphalangeal joints. Now is wrist range of motion. Flexion. With palms down, point your finger toward the floor. Extension. With palms down, point your finger toward the ceiling. Adduction. That is radial deviation. With palms down, bring your finger toward the midline. abduction, that is ulnar deviation. With palms down, bring your finger away from the midline. Now the maneuvers. First is hand grip. Test hand grip strength by asking the patient to grab your second and third finger. This tests function of wrist, joint, the finger flexors and the intrinsic muscles and joints of the hands. Finkelstein test. To test thumb function, ask the patient to grab the thumb against the palm and then move the wrist toward the midline in ulnar deviation.
Do you feel any pain?
Carpal tunnel syndrome, thumb abduction, Tinel test. To test thumb abduction, ask the patient to raise the thumb straight up as you apply downward resistance. Next is Tinel sign. To test Tinel sign by tapping lightly over the course of the median nerve in the carpal tunnel. If there is aching and numbness in the median nerve distribution, it is a positive test. Next is Fennel sign. To test the Fennel sign, ask the patient to hold the wrist in flexion for 60 seconds with the elbows fully extended. Alternatively, ask the patient to press the back of both hands together to form right angles. Next is the knee examination. We will start by inspecting in the inspector gate for a smooth rhythmic flow as the patient enters the room. Next is palpation of the knee. First we ask the patient to be in supine position and both the knee flex. We palpate the tibial femoral joint. Facing the knee, place your thumb in the soft tissue depression on either side of the patellar tendon. Then we identify the tibiofemoral joint. The inferior pole of the patella lies at the tibiofemoral joint line. And we check for the medial and lateral menisci. Press on the medial soft tissue depression along the upper edge of the tibial plateau with the tibia slightly internally rotated. Place the knee in slight flexion and palpate the lateral meniscus along the lateral joint line. Then we check for the medial and lateral joint compartments in both the side of lateral and medial knee. Next is the Bull sign for minor effusions. With the knee extended, place the left hand above the knee and apply pressure on the suprapatellar pouch, displacing or milking fluid downward. Stroke downward on the medial aspect of the knee and apply pressure to force fluid to the lateral area. Tap the knee just behind the lateral margin of the patella. The balloon sign is for major effusions. Place your thumb and check index finger of your right hand on each side of the patella. With the left hand, compress the suprapatellar pouch against the femur. Palpate for fluid ejected or ballooning into the spaces next to the patellar under your right thumb and index finger. The ballooning into the patella for major effusions. To assess large effusion, compress the suprapatellar pouch and ballot or push the patella sharply against the femur. Watch for fluid returning to the suprapatellar pouch. The knee range of motion. For flexion, bend or flex your knee. For extension, straighten your leg. For internal rotation, while sitting, swing your lower leg toward the midline. And for external rotation, while sitting, swing your lower leg away from the midline. McMurray test. With the patient supine, grabs the heel and flex the knee. Cup your other hand over the knee joint with fingers and thumb along the medial joint line. From the heel, externally rotate the lower leg, then push on the lateral side to apply a valgus stress on the medial side of the joint. At the same time, slowly extend the lower leg in external rotation. The same maneuver with the internal rotation of the foot stresses the lateral meniscus.
चलो
Next is abduction or valgus stress test. With the patient supine and the knee slightly flexed, move the thigh about 30 degrees laterally to the side of the table. Place one hand against the lateral knee to stabilize the femur and other hand around the medial ankle. Push medially against the knee and pull laterally at the ankle to open the knee joint on the medial side, that is also known as valgus stress. Next is adduction or varus stress test. With the thigh and knee in the same position, change your position so that you can place one hand against the medial surface of the knee and the other around the lateral ankle. Push laterally against the knee and pull medially at the ankle to open the knee joint on the lateral side. This is known as varus stress test. Anterior drawer sign for anterior cruciate ligament. With the patient supine, hips flexed and knees flexed to 90 degrees and feet flat on the bed, cup your hands around the knee with the thumbs on the medial and lateral joint line and the fingers on the medial and lateral insertion of the hamstring. Draw the tibia forward and observe if it slides forward from under the femur. Compare the degree of forward movement with that of the opposite knee. Lachman test. Place the knee in 15 degrees of flexion and external rotation. Grabs the distal femur on the lateral side with one hand and the proximal tibia on the medial side with the other. With the thumb of the tibial hand on the joint line, simultaneously pull the tibia forward and the femur back. Estimate the degree of forward excursion. Next is posterior drawer sign or posterior cruciate ligament. Position the patient and place your hand in the positions described for the anterior drawer test. Push the tibia posteriorly and observe the degree of backward movement in the femur.
रुकना गलत कर रहा है
Okay, so now we are done with the musculoskeletal examination, and thank you for your cooperation. Okay.